Hi, my name is Richard Lachman. I'm an associate professor in the RTA School of Media at Ryerson University, and I'm also the director of Zone Learning, which is our network of incubators at the university that spans everything from engineering through to the creative arts. I'm also the teacher of a course called the Design Solutions Super Course that's part of the Toronto Arts Council grant that you're hopefully thinking of applying for. So I wanted to describe to you a little bit more about how the grant you're looking at connects with students at Ryerson so you can determine if it's a good match for what you're going to propose. So as I said, the course is called the Design Solutions Super Course, and essentially we connect your organization with a team of 4 or 5 students from across the university. They can be in any program, although most of our students tend to come from a communications, creative, or design background. That team will be connected with you as a client. And the program is really about trying to help strategic planning and prototyping, or helping your organization solve some sort of problem or challenge that you have. The way I like to describe this is, if you know exactly what it is you want to do, for example, we need a website that does X, Y, and Z. This isn't a good match for you. You should go ahead and hire someone to build that for you, or get an intern. This program is really about determining some more poorly defined problem. Maybe it's a challenge you're having and you don't really know the solution. Maybe it's a new area you want to explore engaging in. It could be a new technology, it could be a new audience, it could be a new set of problems that your organization is facing. You will put forward a client challenge, basically a 1-paragraph description of something you're interested in. And again, it's not exactly we need X, it's we're interested in this area, or we're not sure how to explore this new challenge. COVID-19, for example, is producing a whole range of challenges that this kind of program is a good match for. So as I said, it's not overspecified. It should focus on a real audience or a real set of users that you want to engage with. The students will go through a 12-week structured design thinking approach. They'll spend time with you and your organization, understanding more about what it is you do, what your needs are. They'll spend time with the people directly affected by whatever your problem area is. It might be an audience, it might be a set of users, it might be some specific people in your own organization, or it might be a new audience or a new set of users for your organization. Now, when I say spend time with, in the ordinary version of this course and this grant program, students get off campus and they will come to your offices, or they would spend time directly with anyone affected by the challenge area. In the time of COVID-19, we can't do that. So most likely this will be done through Zoom, where they will do structured interviews, they'll do needs finding, needs assessment, conversations with you and the people you identify. They will then go ahead and determine a specific problem they want to focus on. So of this larger challenge area, we think we'd like to engage with X. They'll run that by you, get your feedback and buy-in, maybe find out from you who else they should be talking to. And then they'll try and focus on an exact solution, and they'll prototype that solution. So it kind of goes in this double diamond approach, where they go starting with a challenge, what are all the various ways this might affect something, and they'll focus in on, here's an exact problem we'd like to work on. Then they'll go on wide on a number of solutions, and then they'll focus in on an exact prototype, and they'll show that to you and get your feedback on that. Usually we then have an end of year showcase where, of all the different clients that are focused and part of this class, they can learn a little bit more, and you can see what other solutions and other problems were proposed. The details from your side is, in addition to whatever proposal you put forward to the Toronto Arts Council, we in the course are looking for a single paragraph that describes a challenge and one person who can be the lead contact person from your organization. You then attend an online pre-meeting in August where I meet with all of the clients and answer any problems and questions and describe to you how the semester will go. You'll find out when you're matched with a student group sometime early in September, probably in week 2 of running the course. And then they'll have a client meeting with you, probably in week 3, which is about mid to late September. They'll then have a couple of meetings with you over the course of the semester, including check-ins. You can get as much or as little out of this as you put in. So the minimum request is that they have 3 meetings of 1 hour over the course of 12 weeks. Some of your organizations might actually want more of that. So you might want to meet on a more reasonable basis. In terms of being clear about expectations, students who are enrolled in this course, it is one of 5 courses they're likely taking. They are not full-time on this. They are not paid. on this. So it is a course. They are very dedicated. They will put a lot of time in, but just to be reasonable on, they can't meet with you every day. They probably can meet with you twice a week. Some of our partners. So Toronto Arts Council grant supports arts organizations for working with our students, but we also work with corporate clients and government clients. So in the past, we'd worked with TD Bank, the Four Seasons hotel chain, many branches of the Ontario provincial government, from education to agriculture. We've worked with the Allen Gardens. We've worked with Walmart. We worked with nonprofits like Canadian Refugee Resettlement Organization, as well as the CBC, CanStage, dance organizations, and cultural organizations. So again, when you're thinking of an area, it's something not too specific and not too vague. The students also are not necessarily specialized. So they're not always, I can't guarantee you'll get a programmer or a finance major or a business major. We try and match students based on their interests as an interdisciplinary team, from anything from journalism through geography to English to performance, depending on what your organization's needs are. You need to be available to be involved. So if you're thinking this is a great grant, but I'll hand it off to someone else in my organization who doesn't really know what this is about, that tends not to work so well. It's got to be someone from your organization who really is committed to helping and getting the most value out of this program. So just quickly to outline a few potential projects that we've dealt with in the past. Once, a number of years ago, we had an organization that wanted to match journalism with live performance. So we had a student team that had a few performers, a few journalists involved, being able to prototype what a live digital and real life magazine might look like, connecting investigative journalism with live performance. We've had students worked with the Ministry of Transportation on modernizing the driver's handbook. And so students, because they had the skills, some of them by just happenstance, were able to build a prototype of a video game that covered a lot of the material in the driver's handbook. And that represented a new strategic approach for the Ministry of Transportation. We worked with Archives Ontario, where the archives wanted to get more people involved with the content and materials they support as an archive. A student team was able to prototype a story, a live walking tour based on one of the stories hidden in the archives about the Great Toronto Fire. And students were able to prototype a live action walk through the city collection of storytelling, images, and graphics. We worked with an organization, a dance advocacy organization, and they were interested in exploring how young choreographers might not know a lot about documenting their work. And that documenting in terms of archive is very different than documenting in social media. So they wanted to explore, how do we help young choreographers understand that just posting something to Instagram is not the same way as building an archive that could last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And so students devised an advocacy campaign. They spent time understanding the problem, they spent time with the potential population of young choreographers, and came up with a marketing campaign, advocacy campaign, which then the organization was able to take the Toronto Arts Council grant, hire professional designers, and then actually implement that campaign. We also worked with a cultural organization, a cultural center, that had a physical place, and their problem was, how do we get a younger audience to come out to our physical location? And so the student team were able to put together a set of proposals for events they might be able to run over the course of a year, prototype some of those, and come up with some of the design criteria. So that's just a quick outline of some of the kinds of events, organizations, problems, and challenges. The way we think about this is it's got to be something where you're looking for strategic advice or a new area to work in, and the output is a prototype, not a fully fledged launch, but it could be a marketing campaign design, it could be a strategy document, it could be a campaign design, or it could be a needs assessment, and they're able to spend time with you and find out in a coherent way what next steps might be for you from a strategy point of view. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope you do apply. We are welcome to a huge range of kinds of organizations, and we really think the crises facing the arts sector means that it's a good time to spend the time on strategy if you can, and this grant is a perfect match for it. So I invite you to direct any questions directly to the Toronto Arts Council. They might be able to hand some off to me if you have questions about applying, and there will be some more information exchanges and chances for you to ask questions in the coming weeks. Thanks a lot.